Welcome to this explainer. Okay, I want you to imagine a world straight out of a blockbuster science fiction movie. We're talking invisible force fields made of lethal energy, hidden underground alien oceans, and giant storms shaped into perfect geometric patterns. Sounds like you'd need a warp drive to get there, right? Well, actually no. It's sitting right next door in our very own solar system. Today we're unpacking some absolutely mind-bending discoveries about Jupiter that prove reality is far stranger and honestly, way more fascinating than fiction.
Let's just kick things off with a number that perfectly sets the stage here: 1,300. That is the exact number of Earths you could cram inside Jupiter. It is the undisputed king of our solar system, this colossal gas giant that just completely defies logic. But here's the crazy part. Recent data from NASA is showing us that its massive size is actually the least surprising thing about it.
So, here is our mission briefing for today. We're going to cover 1. The ultimate sci-fi planet. 2. Strange storms and fuzzy cores. 3. Europa, a hidden water world. 4. Secrets of the giant. And finally, 5. Our cosmic bodyguard.
All right, diving into part 1, the ultimate sci-fi planet.
You know, the discoveries being made right now are making traditional science fiction look a bit tame, honestly. And it's all thanks to this incredible timeline of human engineering. Back in 2011, NASA launched a spacecraft named Juno, which was specifically built to unravel Jupiter's deepest, darkest secrets. It arrived in orbit in 2016, and the data it's been sending back ever since, pure sci-fi revelation. And the story doesn't stop there. The Europa Clipper launched in 2024 and is set to arrive by 2030, which is going to push our understanding of this whole alien system even further.
Moving right along to Section 2, Strange Storms and Fuzzy Cores. Okay, so when Juno finally peered directly at Jupiter's poles, it didn't find those familiar striped bands we always see from Earth telescopes. Instead, it found mind-boggling geometry. At Jupiter's North Pole, Juno discovered 8 massive cyclones, and get this, each one is the size of the entire Earth. But they aren't just swirling around randomly. They are arranged in a perfect octagon, with one giant cyclone sitting right in the center and the other 8 surrounding it. It literally looks like a natural geometry class. On Earth, our hurricanes are chaotic, they hit and they fade. But on Jupiter, these perfectly formed storms have been spinning for years in the exact same position without ever merging or crashing. Scientists are still scratching their heads trying to figure out what invisible force keeps this flawless sci-fi-esque formation locked in place.
And the mystery only deepens when we look inside the planet. For a long time, we just assumed Jupiter, being a gas giant with no solid surface, probably had a small, dense, rocky core right at its center. But Juno's data threw a wrench in that. It revealed that Jupiter's core is massive, about 10 times the mass of Earth's core. But here is the major sci-fi twist. It isn't solid rock at all. It's what scientists are now calling a fuzzy core, which pretty much proves our old textbook models completely wrong. Instead of a solid, hard center, it's this massive, unsolid mixture where heavy elements just blend right into liquid hydrogen. Imagine a giant blender just mixed the planet's insides together. So why does it look like that? Well, it suggests that billions of years ago, the early solar system was a chaotic war zone. A massive protoplanet likely crashed head-on into Jupiter, completely shattering its core and leaving behind this permanent fuzzy scar.
Which brings us to Section 3, Europa, a hidden water world.
Now, if you're a fan of sci-fi, you know the golden rule. Finding water usually means finding life. Europa looks like this cracked, frozen ice ball with a crust that's 15 to 25 kilometers thick. But under that thick ice, Juno and other observations strongly suggest there is a liquid water ocean that is 100 kilometers deep. To put that into perspective, this tiny moon holds double the amount of liquid water found in all of Earth's oceans combined. Double! No way, right?
But you might be wondering, how on Earth, or how on Europa, can liquid water exist so far from the sun in that kind of freezing darkness? The answer is this fascinating physical process called tidal heating. Here's how it works. Step 1. Jupiter's immense gravity constantly pulls on Europa. Step 2. As Europa orbits, it physically gets squeezed and stretched. It's kind of like a giant cosmic stress ball. Step 3. All that internal movement creates massive friction, which generates deep internal heat. And finally, Step 4. That intense heat melts the ice from the inside out, maintaining this incredibly dark, hidden, liquid alien ocean.
Which naturally leads us to the absolute most thrilling question of all. Could there be life hiding in Europa's dark ocean? Think about our own planet for a second. Down at the very bottom of Earth's oceans, where sunlight never ever reaches, we have these hydrothermal vents teeming with weird, alien-looking life. Bacteria, blind fish, just strange creatures all thriving purely on the heat radiating from the Earth's core. NASA scientists believe it is entirely possible that similar life could exist right now in Europa's salty depths, and that is exactly what the upcoming Europa Clipper mission is designed to investigate.
All right, let's pivot back to the big guy in Section 4, Secrets of the Giant.
The planet itself is hiding features that are extreme, totally dangerous, and honestly just utterly majestic. Take the famous Great Red Spot. We've all seen pictures of this massive red blemish. It's a hurricane so large it could swallow 2 to 3 Earths whole, and it's been raging for at least 400 years. But Juno uncovered its truly terrifying scale. This storm doesn't just skim the top of the clouds, it dives more than 300 kilometers deep into the planet. Surprisingly though, this ancient monster is actually shrinking, and scientists still aren't exactly sure why or when it might finally vanish for good.
Then there's the planet's invisible weapon, 20,000. That is how much stronger Jupiter's magnetic field is compared to Earth's. If we could somehow see Jupiter's magnetic field from Earth with our naked eyes, it would look like this massive, glowing force field, taking up more space in our night sky than the full moon, and it is wildly chaotic. You've got north poles and south poles just mixed together, like a handful of magnets thrown blindly onto a table.
This extreme magnetic field traps these incredibly fast-moving particles, which creates the deadliest radiation belts in the entire solar system. A human exposed to this would receive a lethal dose in literally minutes. So how does the Juno probe survive? Human engineering that sounds like it's straight out of a sci-fi novel about armor-plated spaceships. The spacecraft's delicate brain and sensors are locked securely inside a titanium vault, a heavily armored shield specifically designed to withstand the brutal, continuous radiation bombardment of the gas giant.
And just to add a touch of cosmic beauty to the whole shebang, Juno also studied Jupiter's rings. Yes, Jupiter has rings. They aren't thick and icy like Saturn's though, they are incredibly faint, born entirely from cosmic dust. When micrometeorites crash into Jupiter's smaller moons, they kick up these massive clouds of dust that get trapped in orbit, creating this very delicate, ghostly halo around the giant.
Which brings us to our final part, Section 5, our cosmic bodyguard. So, why do all these mind-blowing details actually matter to us down here on Earth? Well, because Jupiter is a critical player in our very survival. First off, it's our planetary protector. Its massive gravity acts kind of like a vacuum cleaner or a shield. Back in 1994, the massive Shoemaker-Levy 9 comet was pulled in and completely destroyed by Jupiter. If that comet had hit Earth instead, well, let's just say we might have shared the fate of the dinosaurs. Second, it serves as an exoplanet model. By understanding Jupiter, we get to understand the hot gas giants we are discovering in distant star systems. Third, the moons around Jupiter are literally the front line in our search for life beyond Earth. And finally, it feeds human curiosity. Exploring it defines who we are as a species of explorers. Which leads me to this really empowering thought. The source material captures this beautifully, stating, "We are small in this universe, but we are powerful. We live on a tiny blue dot, yet we somehow have the capability to build a titanium-shielded spacecraft, launch it billions of kilometers into the absolute dark, and unlock the deepest secrets of a giant world." That is true power, right there. The human mind is just absolutely incredible.
So, as we wrap up this explainer, remember that the most incredible science fiction stories, they aren't in movies. They're waiting to be discovered up in the night sky. Could we soon find out we aren't alone because of a tiny, icy moon right next door? Stay curious, stay human, and keep looking up, because science fact will always outshine science fiction. Thanks for learning with me today.